Good morning. Good morning. We're in day 6 of our Don't Mistake Your Waiting Room for Your Rejection Room. And I tell you, we've been having a great time with this month. I'm so excited that you all have joined us. I want to invite you all this Saturday, we will be at Sanders Thompson Mortuary in Clinton having a back to school giveaway in partnership with Sanders, the Zone, Love Zone Ministry, and also some great friends of mine, Mr. Barry Young from Clinton, and Mr. Tony Cunningham, one of my classmates. They are coming to help do some great things. Have a lot of volunteers from our side with the zone coming, and we partner together. Good morning, Mother Wilson. Good morning to those of you that are joining us on the conference call. We have partnered with Sanders Thompson's this year, and we have declared that we're going to put on for the city. And we are wanting to invite you to come out this Saturday at 10 o'clock from 10 to 2. I'm telling you, get there early. You will have to park at Friendship, but we will have transportation moving you from Friendship to Sanders. Every so many minutes, somebody will be coming on a golf cart, transporting you all to the funeral home, the mortuary. But thank God we're not going to bury anybody. We're going to give back to the community. And we're just so grateful. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Michelle. We're so grateful that you all are going to join us in that. And so want to share that. So if those of you that don't have anything to do Saturday morning, Michelle, if you're available, come see me at 8 o'clock. Come help volunteer. Good morning to you. Come and volunteer with us at Sanders Thompson Mortuary. We'll have free fish, hamburger. Good morning, Carolyn. Hamburger, hot dogs, sodas, chips. Bouncers will be there for the kids, a whole day of entertainment for the children. We have resources this year. We're going to have people there this year providing us with information about education, about mental health, about the businesses that they have. Good morning, Miss Cindy. Businesses that they have. So you all please come out this weekend. We'll have a live DJ. Bring your lawn chairs so that you can have something to sit in. But remember, you will have to park at Friendship AME Church. If for some reason you can't ride on a golf cart, let me know. We can have somebody take your car up there and drop you off and take your car up there. We'll have people transported from Friendship to Sanders Thompson. Because of the crowd we're expecting, we will not have parking on site, and because we're doing a resource fair. Good morning, Denise. Thank you, Michelle, for coming to help us. Wear a black shirt, Michelle. I'm gonna have to get you a zone shirt ASAP. But we're excited. Want you to be there. And also, we have launched our Miss Cindy. I want you to pay attention to this. I'm gonna post it today. I just saw a message. I think I missed a message from you this summer. I'm so sorry, but please always call my number. Good morning, Miss McGowan. Always call my number if I don't respond to you. But we have launched our Future Leader Academy. Let me tell you, if you got young people between the ages of 4 to the ages of 18 that you really want to be groomed in their career path, we have launched our Future Leader Academy. People think that I've launched the school. Not yet. But we are launching our academy. And the academy is going to we'll be taking kids on leadership training, conferences, to some major conferences with some very well-known people in the area of leadership, teaching them, training them in their career path, showing them how to be professionals. Now the kids will have uniforms. We'll get ready to start ordering our uniforms. I intended to start this model with 12 kids as a way to get this model going. I want you all to know when we launched it 2 Sundays ago, we are now up to 30 kids from Greenwood, South Carolina, Lawrence, Greenville. And so God is doing a great work. So we want to invite you, if you got grandchildren, you want to get them to be a part of this. We'll only meet once a month starting in September, and we're going to travel. We'll meet some months in Anderson, some in Greenville, some in Clinton. Don't let that be a way for you to not want to be a part of this. We will try to see if we can have transportation coming from those areas to get the kids to us. And then, we're asking the parents to buy into this. One parent may bring the kids to Greenville one time, the other parent may bring them in. So we need you to buy into them. It's no different than if your child was in AAU. We can get to them games. We can pay them $20, $30 fees for everybody, for the whole family, and y'all don't even complain about it. And here we are building a model kind of like an AAU. There is a fee coming in because we have to buy uniforms. We got to prepare for our first travel. And so we're training the kids. We're preparing them to walk in their leadership. If they can't get hurt with this, okay, and their career is gone. Once we instill those things in them, they have them, and they're going to take this with them to their workplace. We have a beautiful model plan. We're going to be teaching them about finance. We're going to be teaching them about getting involved in computer literacy. We're going to teach them about having a global perspective, not just a perspective when it comes to the United States. We want to teach them about a global perspective. And we're also teaching them about finance, mental health, a lot of stuff we're doing with them. So I'm inviting you all, share this. I'm going to share everything once we get done. And also we launched I launched my first, I say we, children's book. It's called Nana Says. You don't know who you know. It's a conversation between me and my Nana Bab, my grandmother Zenora Bab. I launched it on her birthday. It is now on Amazon. So we're wanting to sell 100 books off of Amazon. And I'm going to tell you, it's $5 cheaper on Amazon. So I'm just giving you that plug. I don't want to tell y'all that, but anyway, it's $5 cheaper on Amazon. It launched yesterday on Amazon. And so get that book. I'm telling you, it's a great book. It talks about bullying. It's a conversation with me and my nana sitting on her porch. At the end of the book, it has some lesson objectives for you to walk through with your kids. It has affirmations. So it's not a book. It's a workbook as well. And we are also going to be having a launch of that book in Clinton soon. So I'm asking you all, encouraging you all, invest that in your children. Let me tell you, it's a children's book, but you can get it for your teenager because of the stuff that's in the back. They will learn from that book. And it is really good about understanding your safe spaces and who you can tell your secrets to. I don't want to spoil it, but I just can't wait until you see how we're going to roll this out. Stay tuned for some YouTube videos. I got a young person, one of my babies, who's going to be reading the book. She's only 6 years old and reads on a 3rd grade level, and she's going to be reading the book, and I'll be doing some fun stuff with her. Hey, Miss Rachel better watch out because I might be, Dr. T is on her way for her. So anyway, wanted to share that. And we will have our service this week in Anderson. I will probably announce tomorrow exactly where that service will be. We may have to move it for the month of August and maybe September because we're doing some repairs, and we got overflow of book bags and stuff that have come in that we're pushing out, and our room is gone. Literally everything we got is at capacity, and we give God praise. Everything, our warehouse is at capacity. Both of our houses are at capacity. The bus is at capacity. So we're pushing stuff out this weekend so that we can have room to provide services. But in the meantime, we may do things in a different location. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. And remember, our Bible study is now on Wednesdays. We meet on Wednesdays. We had a great session last night, and we're studying the 15 inedible laws of growth. The 15 laws of growth by Mr. John Maxwell. So we want you to join us for that, and while we're doing that Bible study. But today we're going to jump back in what we were talking about all week, and that has been don't mistake your waiting room for your rejection room. And I'm telling you, God gave a lot of points yesterday. I'm going to review those because I talked about how we compare ourselves so much to other people, and sometimes that becomes a distraction in the waiting room because you're comparing yourself to others. And so I gave you 5 points yesterday, and that was stop comparing yourself. The other one was practice gratitude. The other one was serve quietly. You don't have to serve and always want, do an act of kindness without expecting recognition, and then speaking life, having those affirmations, declaring out loud. Those of you that walk with me have walked me in the birthday classes. By the way, we get ready to open up the birthday class 2027. We have graduates that'll be graduating in December this year because we started a little late due to my surgery. But declaring those, speaking those declarations. If you know me, I like confessions. I like declarations. I like prayers around what it is specific strategically that you're dealing with. And so speaking life over your situation and staying available. Ask God, what do you want to develop in me today? I always start with the man in the mirror. I want y'all to go look at those lyrics. We broke that thing down last night in Bible study. We looked at the lyrics to starting with the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson was really talking about outreach. I'm telling you, he was talking about how can I see that they don't have anything to eat and I'm not helping them with their need. Go look at the lyrics. It was a lot of stuff because I was so used to just singing it and dancing to the beat and making his moves. I didn't care anything about the lyrics, but I took time in the vamp. We all know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I have seen change his ways, but we don't know the fullness of those verses. And man, when we walked through those things last night and he was talking about how can he avoid this and how can he not do anything in life without starting with that man, the man, me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. So start with you. Ask God, what do he need to develop in you? Stop pointing fingers at everybody else. Good morning, Wanda. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Pastor Amy. Stop talking about and pointing fingers with everybody else, but ask God, what do you want to develop in me? What do you want it to develop in me? So we're going to move on. I'm hoping we get into the story about David a little bit today. We talked about Joseph, how Joseph had a vision and shared, shared the vision with his family. And man, oh man, did they not get upset about that? Oh no, we gonna serve you. And next thing you know, they done sold the boy out in slavery, then put him in the pit, but he raised from the pit and went to the palace. He went through difficult things and difficult times and difficult seasons, but it did not stop him from moving in the purpose in which God had ordained for him. And I'm telling you now, I'm telling you today, I am a living witness. Trials and tribulations have come. Challenges have been a part of my life. And guess what? They are not going away. But God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think, according to the power. When he breathed in Adam in the beginning of the world, he breathed in us the power, the dunamis to move forward, to be able to press through. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to just sit down on your do, or are you just going to do it? You're going to get up and do it. And I pray this week has encouraged you to get up, regardless of the trials, tribulation, to understand when you're going through stuff, stop thinking that it's something you've done. It may be God's protection. When folks walk out of your life, stop thinking it's something you've done. It may be God's protection for you. And so when we think about some of the strongest trees, spend years growing deep roots. They're growing deep roots. I got somebody in my front yard. I remember moving here and it had even tore up my concrete. But them jokers started looking for water, and those roots are deep that it's ran all the way under my concrete, under my driveway, because they have deep roots before anyone noticed how tall they have become. Their roots are deep, and their roots go deep because they're going up. They're getting taller. So parallel yourself to that. Some of the strongest trees spend years growing deep roots. And how much time have we spent growing deep roots? I talked about that in Bible study last night, that we have to take time and we have to plan and we have to make daily goals in our professional life, in our personal life, and move at it one thing at a time. Don't try to be overwhelmed with all of it at one time, but understand your roots got to grow deep. You got to get a foundation. Don't rush your roots. God is more interested in you and making you strong than making you famous. God is more interested in making you strong. You got so many, microwave people who wanted quick, fast, and in a hurry. Even with ministry, they wanted quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then they get it and didn't have no faith and no stamina to stand and no muscles built. Now they wimped out. They can't withstand the storm. They can't hold the weight. Come on, somebody. They can't hold the weight of what God is calling to because they never got a foundation. They just jumped off on it. Never asked God, what you need me to do? Never talked to God when difficult moments came, but you just give up. The Bible says, be Be not weary in well doing, but in due season you shall reap if you faint not. But where your roots at? Because they didn't show up? Because the Lord told you to do something and didn't nobody show up? Guess what? You obeyed God. If he told you to do it, all you're responsible for is doing what God tell you to do and being consistent in that. You're going to stop because they didn't show up one time? Then let me tell you something. I remember when I was starting one of my businesses, and my dad is my business partner. I'm telling you, my dad is a Glenn Jenkins Suber and Counter, and they have that business entrepreneurship piece in them. If any of you know any of them, Rayfield and Jimmy and D Suber, that's my family, my daddy's family line, and they have entrepreneurship. It's just all in them. I have a cousin that has a mega church in Maryland, and so entrepreneurship is in them. So I remember starting my first business, and I'm sitting with my mom, and my mom was the one. You want to make lemonade? Come on, let's go get a stand, Michelle. No, you want to do this? Come on, let's go put it together. She was right there. She was right there. Anything I did, my mama was right there. She supported. She encouraged me. It didn't matter if I played football, basketball, baseball, twirled around in my cute little ballerina suit. She made sure I was the best at what I did, and that she was there to encourage me. So she was my encourager. But my dad on the other end, when it came to business, oh man, he gonna run it. What you doing? And who gonna pay for that? And how much money you doing with that? Even with sometimes seeding, he would say, "You gave the church that much money?" He would question it. And so I remember starting my business, and he began to question me. And when I got through, I was like, "Well, you act like you don't want me to do this, Daddy. You act like you don't think I'm capable of doing it." And you know what my daddy said to me? He said, "That's all I needed right there." He said, "If I can talk you out of it, and I'm your daddy, what you think the world gonna do to you?" I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. He said, "If I can sit here and talk you out of it, and you're getting very discouraged and you're getting distracted now from your conversation with me, and I'm your daddy," he said, "what you think the world gonna do to you?" And everything he said was so true. The world was not going to allow things to happen on a silver platter like maybe my parents have, or maybe they made provisions for me in that way. But my dad was saying to me, "Girl, you're going to hit some rough places." And then he began to share stories with me about how he was one of the first cabinet builders in Lawrence County as an African-American man, and the struggle that was for him running a whole cabinet shop downtown Clinton with mostly a whole nother culture of people, and how challenging that was to him. But he said, "I pushed through it because I knew who I was. And I knew the capabilities I had and the ability I had to make this happen. And I knew they needed my skill. So I learned how to push through those challenges." So what my daddy was saying, well, my mom was supported, and God knew what kind of parents I needed. Because y'all, I've had some wild ideas as a child. I feel like Noah when he was told to build an ark and had nobody seen rain, And God would give me visions early on. Wanda, remember? Back in the day, early on. Janice, remember? Some of y'all came in mid part of that life. I'm talking about a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, and God-given vision to take 50 and 60 kids to Washington, D.C., to Philadelphia. And I'm not even old enough to pay for a bus. Come on now. I'm not even old enough. Nobody ever asked me for my ID to even get hotel rooms. And these people just got me renting buses, buying hotel rooms. I'm not even of age. But God. And even in that, let me tell you something. Everybody that was with me was not for me. It was people that fought against me, that told lies about me, said I took this, I took that. I had my own personal interest. Some of the same stuff you hear today. But at the end of the day, I've been consistent in it through all of it. At the end of the day, their children were truly blessed, because some of them have come back to say, "I'm so grateful you handled me that way because I'm a better person now." Oh yeah, a lot of people did it. I know who it was, but guess what? It ain't for me to be upset about that. I'm on the other side of through now. They had to do it. The enemy just used them to be part of the plan to try to be a challenge for me. But God said, no, you're going to keep moving forward. And that was days I didn't want to do it no more. I'm saying I'm spending my time, we riding around here illegal, literally, with 12 and 15 kids in cars back then, trying to move from one place to another to go sing, to give God glory. And all y'all can do is sit here and think about money and count money, and you don't even know the sacrifices I made, the gas I spent. But God, it's okay. And one thing I've learned in life, you don't have to prove yourself to nobody. You let them create their own narrative. You just get a foundation so that when the wind blow and the wind and dust come and the storm may beat upon you, guess what? You'll still be able to stand. You'll still be able to stand. The enemy can huff and puff to try to blow your house down. But when you're built on sticks, it's coming down. When you're built on wood, it's coming down. But when you're built with bricks, he can stand there. He can huff and he can puff and he can try to bring your house down. But guess what? You're built on something solid. And every time he huff and puff, he's running out of air because he can't bring your house down. Somebody ought to shout hallelujah. So stand firm on the promises of God, because we're on the other. You right, Lisa. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to have to tag that so somebody take that. I'm writing a book called On the Other Side of Through. On the other side of through. Because there is another side of going through. If you just let him take, the Bible says he's going to, yea, though I walk through the valley and the shadow of death, God has promised us he'll never leave us or forsake us. So don't rush your roots. God is more interested in making you strong than making you famous. Keep praying, keep serving, keep loving. And that's hard sometimes, you all, when you know, and I'm telling you, God spoke this to me some time back. He said, can I have you at the table with the enemy? And let me tell you, it's been so funny. I've been running into some people and they're saying, how's the new thing going? And I know they don't have any interest in that. I know they just want information so that they can go join the allowance of people. God has already showed me, okay? But I'll sit there and hold conversation with them. And sometimes I'll give them a little nugget. So when I hear it later, I already know you did just what God showed me you were going to do. Yeah. Yeah. And so everybody don't always come with the best interest, but you got to love them. And the Lord said to me a couple of months ago, he says, can I show you the enemy and you sit at the table and not show face? And for a minute with a situation, I was tit for tat. When they came for me, I came for them. When they came for me, I came for them. I'm going to tell you, I fell about three months ago. I failed. I said, you want to play? I'm going to show you how to play. Oh, yeah, I did. And then the Lord said, what did I ask you a couple of months ago? I told you, can you see the weapon form and you're not show face? Can you sit at the table with the enemy? I prepare a place for you in the presence of the enemy and not show face. Can you see people reject you, and then when they need something, now they're your friend? Oh, and you not show face, Teresa. I said, God, I can. And I almost failed. And God said to me, you stop trying to create a narrative for that person. You just be who I called you to be. Love them. Love them. Love them. When they show back up, don't act funny. Love them. Don't give them that same energy. Y'all kill that foolishness. Give me folks here. I'm gonna give them the same energy they give me. Okay, you keep right on in that vein, and guess what? You are depleting yourself. You are downgrading yourself to compete with somebody else's energy. Come on now. You're better than that. What Michelle Obama said, when they go low, high, I go low, or something like that. You know what? Well, y'all know what she said. Well, you know what the Obama said. But I'm saying, why do we keep wanting to play the same games other people play when the word has reminded us that we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with powers, principalities? When people start acting out of the will of God and acting different than you know what God has expected for you to be in other words, when the atmosphere changes and you know it ain't of God, then that's when you are the atmosphere changer. You bring God right back in it. But don't you start acting like folks, because now you acting like the devil. Who you serving now? Good morning, Michelle. Who you serving now? Whose report you believe in? Now you serving the same energy? Come on, get out of that. Get out of that. And so keep loving people, even in spite of when they've done you wrong. I've had family members to do me wrong, but I kept right on loving. And they eventually saw my heart. They saw my passion, because some of them had to sit in the postures that I sat in, and they see how people do. Now you see what I was going through. So you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You just keep walking in God and let him be. The Lord said, let me fight your battle. Let me fight you. You be strong and courageous. You trust me and you let me fight this battle and watch what he'll do. You keep believing. The same God who sees the sorrow sees you. The same God who called David from the pastor still calls ordinary people into extraordinary purpose. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not invisible. You are simply in God's preparation room. While you in that waiting room, don't you mistake it for that rejection room. You're in God's preparation room, and when he says it's time, no person, hear me good, no person can block what God has already ordained for your life. No person. No person. I told you by the huff and the puff. Y'all remember the little pigs? Every time he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. Was it little pig? The three? I can't remember. I done got the stories mixed up. But you remember the story about the huff and he puffed and he blew the house down. And the enemy gonna huff and he gonna puff. But are you gonna let him blow your house down? What kind of foundation are you built on? Because God, remember, a person cannot block you from what God has already ordained. When you were in your mother's womb, God knew, he knew exactly what you were going to be. He had already played it out. He had already wrote it out. Guess what? He was waiting on you to seek him. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added. And the more we seek him, he can guide us. But when we start seeking the stuff, guess what? We adding stuff to us. He ain't adding us to us. We adding things to us, and those things then become weights. But when we let him add it, if he add it, then he's given us the capacity to carry it. But when we add it, like the bag lady, you got too much, 3 little pigs. Thank you, Michelle. Bag lady, you got too much stuff. That's NDRE. You got your bag, you're carrying all this stuff because you chose to add it. You didn't wait on God. You chose to add it. You're having problems with that friend now. You chose to add some folks in your life. You didn't wait on him. And those are burdens that begin to be those weights. But God said, lay aside every weight that so easily beset you, that keeps you from moving in what he's called you into. Lay them aside and let God, you seek him. He says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. They'll be added unto you. And so your hiding season is not proof. Your hiding season is not proof that God has forgotten you. It may be proof that he's preparing something so significant that it requires deeper roots before greater fruit. Stay faithful. Heaven still knows your name. And I'm going to pause right there. And tomorrow we're going to go and talk a little bit about David. I want to get into some stuff about David. I want to get into that today, and then I have to stop it. But I want to talk a little bit about David tomorrow as we're wrapping this up, and how David's preparation came before the palace. How his preparation came before the palace. I pray this has blessed you this morning. Don't you look, you keep praying, you keep serving, you keep loving, and you keep believing. Don't you let people shift you from the things of God. You keep praying, serving, loving, and believing. And I know it's hard sometimes to love people, but one thing we got to understand, that we have the ability to love the hell out of them. Yeah, I said it. We have the ability, and it's going to come through love. The Bible says love will cover a multitude of sin. So stop comparing yourself. Get those roots, get rooted in God, and you stay faithful. You stay prayed up. You keep believing, and you keep loving people, because God has not forgotten you. In heaven, still knows your name. It still knows your name. You all be blessed. I pray that something was said today. I don't care if the enemy come huffing and puffing like the 3 little pigs and want to blow your house down. You understand who you are in him. You are a royal priesthood. You are a holy nation. You have been called by God, and you stand firmly on his word, knowing that he's able. He is more than able to do exceedingly. If we think one thing, God said he has the ability to do it even more, abundantly above all we can ask or think, according to the power that's working in you. But how is that power working? And are your roots deep enough that you got a foundation that when the wind blows and when there's a huff and a puff, can you stand? Yes, we can stand firmly on God's foundation. You all be blessed. Have a great day. We have one more day to be together, and I'm excited about tomorrow, because we're going to talk about how there was the preparation time before David entered the palace. See, in everything we go through, you guys, there's going to be time of preparation and process before we enter the promises. You all be blessed. You'll be blessed. Look out for those announcements. Don't forget, we just launched the first children's book. I'm super excited about that. As a matter of fact, we had a company to buy 100 books from us that's going to also give these books out during the month of suicide awareness, because the book is talking about bullying. Don't forget, we launched our Future Leader Academy. We're super excited about the 30 kids that we already have signed up for that. And join me this weekend as we are ending our 1,000, somebody shout 1,000 book bags in the upstates. We have conquered 1,000 book bags, and not only book bags, but we've given out the book bags and supplies in the upstate of South Carolina. Thank you all again for joining forces with us and making sure this happens every year. We'll have our last back to school event on this Saturday in my hometown in Clinton. We putting on for the city. We shutting down that side of town. Come on and help me shut it down, and let's be a blessing to the community this weekend. Those of you that are available, come and help us serve this weekend. Those that are great among you, let them serve. You all be blessed. Have a great grand Thursday until we meet again in the morning. God bless you.